Little Fox. Rapunzel, Episode 13, Thorns. More years passed. The prince often walked in the forest. Sometimes his servant walked with him.
Can we please go?
His servant moaned.
It's cold and dark. There are sharp thorns everywhere.
Shh, the prince said.
I hear that lovely voice again. I must find the singer.
Look!
The servant said suddenly. An old witch was flying through the trees.
What are you doing in this forest?
She yelled. The prince stared at her.
The witch from the market!
He thought. The prince waved.
You have your flying shawl. Can you make one for me?
No!
The witch said.
It's a hard spell. It takes months and...
Be careful!
The prince said. Crash! The witch fell in a thorn bush.
Ouch!
She yelled. The prince lifted the witch from the thorn bush. He tried to remove her shawl next, but it was stuck to the thorns. Finally, the witch yanked it from the bush.
My shawl is ruined! Now I cannot fly for months! This is your fault!
I'm sorry.
The prince said.
You can ride my horse instead. And I can carry your heavy basket. Where are you going?
Nowhere!
The witch shouted.
Leave me alone!
She stuffed the ripped shawl into her basket. She stomped off through the trees. The servant sighed.
Can we go now?
The prince watched the witch leave. Suddenly, he remembered the girl with the long hair.
No!
He said.
Let's follow that witch!
In the tower, Rapunzel was waiting for the witch.
She is late today.
Rapunzel thought.
I wonder where she is.
Finally, she heard a sound.
I'm down here!
The witch yelled.
My flying shawl is ruined! I cannot get into the tower!
Rapunzel, Episode 14, The Boy from the Market. Rapunzel stared down at the witch. The witch could not get into the tower. But Rapunzel had an idea. Rapunzel leaned out the window. Then she dropped her long hair down.
Climb up!
She called. The witch snorted.
I'm too old for climbing!
Just try.
Rapunzel said. The witch looked scared, but she grabbed the hair. Rapunzel pulled. Slowly, the witch began to rise. The witch closed her eyes.
I'm dizzy! This was a bad idea!
Hold on tightly.
Rapunzel called. Rapunzel kept pulling on the braid. Finally, thunk! The witch landed inside the tower. The prince was hiding nearby. He watched the witch get into the tower.
Please?
His servant whispered.
Can we go?
No,
The prince said.
I must talk to that girl.
The prince waited until the witch was gone. After dark, Rapunzel heard a strange voice.
Who's there?
She looked out the window. A young man stood below.
Do I know you?
She asked. The man nodded.
We met a long time ago at the market.
He stepped into the moonlight. Rapunzel gasped.
You're the prince! I see you at the palace!
Rapunzel let down her hair. The prince climbed up.
What are you doing in the forest?
Rapunzel asked.
I like to walk in the woods.
The prince said.
Sometimes I hear someone singing.
Rapunzel smiled and sang softly.
I wish I could go back to my home, my precious home. In the garden, you could hear my songs that made my parents happy. I wish
You are the singer!
The prince cried.
But why are you locked in this tower?
Rapunzel told him about the witch. The prince frowned and paced the room.
The witch cannot keep you here! My servant will fetch a ladder. And soon you will be free!
Rapunzel, Episode 15, More Visits. The prince wanted to free Rapunzel, but she shook her head.
I cannot leave. The witch will hurt my parents.
Then what will you do?
The prince asked.
You cannot stay here forever.
Very soon I will be 18.
Rapunzel said.
The witch promised to let me go then.
The prince sighed.
May I visit you again?
Rapunzel smiled.
Of course!
In the morning, the witch returned.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel,
She called.
let down your hair.
Rapunzel dropped down her hair. And in the evening, the prince returned.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!
He climbed up.
I brought you some books!
He said. Rapunzel and the prince talked a lot. They sang together.
You are a beautiful singer!
The prince said. He turned red.
I mean, Your songs are beautiful.
Then he smiled shyly.
But you are beautiful too.
The prince is kind.
Rapunzel thought.
He is smart and handsome too.
The next morning, the witch arrived.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
The witch looked around the tower and frowned.
Where is the hair potion? And the baby sleeping potion? What did you do yesterday?
Rapunzel smiled dreamily.
Nothing much. I will mix the potions now.
She started to chop herbs. But Rapunzel made lots of mistakes.
What's wrong with her?
The witch thought. She gazed around and saw something. It was a lump under Rapunzel's mattress. The witch lifted the mattress.
Where did these books come from?
The witch snapped.
I had them in my pockets
Rapunzel said.
when you first put me here.
The witch muttered something under her breath.
I don't remember that.
That night, the prince visited again. Soon, a voice growled.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel! Let down your hair right now!
Little